For today I want to create a crop farm using this area of water as the base. So the tree farm is doing great. Let me just set the day time going. So the tree farm is doing well, so we'll build a platform out on the water and put the tree farm on top of that, again raising it up out of the water for a couple of blocks just to keep it safe from mobs. So let's just check what I've got on board. Yeah, I think I've got all I need there. So let's get started on that. So I want to put down a deep slate, as we've got plenty of it base out here somewhere. So we'll just use the let's use the area shaping clearing for that, and the place of floor ceiling, which we did on the tree farm to get the dirt in place. So we'll replace the current floor. We'll enter 0 because we're on the ground level, and now of course we put the width and height in. So okay, so it's on its way. I've decided to make it 19 blocks wide by 26 in this direction. 26 should be enough to allow us to put a group of 4 separate crop farms if I extend it this way a little bit. So 26 length should get us 2 crop farms that way, and if we want to do 4, then we can start it from this corner here and run it a little bit further that way. So I'll harvest this wheat and we can get that out of the way. So I'll get doing on that, ready for when this turtle's finished. What I might do is to set a second turtle up running at the same time to complete this part of it, so it's all done in one go. So there's the pair of the turtles now doing the job here. So it'll dig out all of this dirt here, the sand, and just place the cobble deep slate until we've got a huge platform, and then we'll move on to start creating the farm on top of that. Now the 2 turtles have finished their job, so we've now got this nice platform extending over the sea to produce our farm with. So I might eventually build a path or something over to the cliffs there, but for the moment that will do fine. So next step is to create the farm. So we'll begin that on this corner here. I think we might as well use this turf. Well, as we've got so much cobble deep slate from the mining we've done, I want to build this platform up by one more layer and then place the farms on top of that. So we're just going to repeat this performance with the deep slate, but raise it up another layer there. So if I use the up command so that we are one above, now we can do the same TK and do the area shaping and place of floor, just that we're going to be doing the slightly smaller dimensions here. So again, it's 1, we're on the correct level, and so we'll put the width and height in again. So I'll come back when that's finished. So the platform has been increased in height, and this is now ready to start creating the first crop farm. I've gained a friend by feeding seeds to this parrot. So let's get started on here. So this time we're going to go for farming, which is 3, and then create modular crop farm. So we can start it on the corner here. It'll place storage in these areas here, so that we're having 5 chests or 5 barrels required. Then water is placed in this corner and all of the other 3, and the crops grow in this area. Gives you the total size 13 by 13. So let's press enter. I've already put some stone in. Let's add some dirt, 4 water buckets, 5 chests, 1 sapling, and a crafting table. There we go. So that's now going to go round and check that there is nothing in the way around the edges of the farm here. So that will just circulate round this area, 13 across, 13 down, come back to start, and then it will begin to build the farm. Just wait for that to return. I've dug all the crops out from here, there was no point in keeping those there. Okay, it's finished its checks, so it's going back onto the corner. It'll place dirt block sapling, then 2 chests or barrels if they happen to have been chosen. Then finish building up to the 13th block here. And then it will return and start digging and placing dirt in the bottom half here. Okay, so it's now going to produce a water source, checking that there are sufficient solid blocks either side. There we go, and it'll put dirt all the way along here, another 2 chests just here, and another one buried in the ground just there. Let's see if my friend is with me. Oh yes. Look at that. Chest, and it should be giving a message to say crafting table in buried storage. So if we look in here, there's the crafting table. That's all ready for use. So what happens is when the crop farm is in production is that the turtle which sits here checks to see the crops in this area are growing. Once they have matured, it will go up and harvest the tree that's grown here. Come back, use the crafting table that's in there, swap it out with the, although it's already got a crafting table in here, it is that when you are using it as a mining turtle, as a farming turtle, you need to put a hoe on it. And so this is to make sure that there's always a crafting table available, even if it hasn't got its own, which will then be used. So this may not be necessary to put that one in here if it deposits its own crafting table, but it's just kind of an extra precaution to have that in there. Okay, I shall come back in a second once this farm has been created. So while the farm is being built outside, we're going to craft a cheap turtle, which will be used to look after the farm. So this is a much less expensive recipe. It's just stone, redstone and a sheet of glass. That makes a computer, chest, and this time we use iron ingots rather than gold to give us a normal turtle. Now we want to equip this with both a diamond pickaxe and a diamond hoe, so we'll craft both of those. Then the turtle, make it a standard crafty mining turtle. Yep, that'll do. And then we can add the hoe when we're ready to use this for farming. So I'll set this up with the same toolkit and all the files as with all the other turtles, so that that's all ready to use once the farm has been created. Okay, so the farm has been completed, so we've got this pile of dirt with water at each corner, a tree which acts for fuel, and some storage chests here. So that's the current arrangement. This has done its job, so we can now move it to its final position, which is ready for farming here. The reason it doesn't stop there automatically is that from this position here we can extend this farm now to add another one here. So I decided to leave it finishing at this point in case we wanted to extend the farm rather than plant it. In fact, we can still do that because I've created a new simple turtle, and so we can use that for placing our crops. So let's put that one down here. If I crouch, I can place it there. Yep. So that's the starting position. It should be facing the crops here. Now you can probably notice that the farm looks distinctly different to what it did a few seconds ago. The reason for that, I was about to demonstrate the ability for the turtle to plant the crops, and it refused to work. I thought I'd done something wrong in the code. Turns out there was a bug in the version of CC Tweaked which I reported, and within a day it had been fixed. A new version is now out, and as long as you're using that version, everything is okay. Just to show you, to get the version number, if you put TK and then VER, or short for version, and press enter, it will tell you all the details you need to know. So we're currently on Computercraft, which is a CC Tweaked 1.107.0, which is the latest version at time of recording. This one does work properly with the crop planting. That gives you the Minecraft's major and minor versions as well. So just to give you some information there. Let me show you what I've done in the meantime. I have built 4 farms, and I have partially planted one of them with carrots, which I've stolen from a nearby village. Same over here, I stole some potatoes. Then back here, let's just get these tree leaves out of the way. We've got wheat seeds, and finally over here we've got beetroot. So we've got the main 4 crops that you can grow here. I'll just go and rescue that thing there. And so this is now ready to demonstrate how the farming works. You'll notice that where I jumped there, so I'll do the same here. Change some of this to back to dirt by jumping on it, and you'll see as the turtle does its business that it works. Now it looks like these carrots are ready, so I can demonstrate how to get this turtle working. Now there's 2 things you can do. You can either do a one-off harvest, which will harvest this field, then because it discovers that there's a double chest at the other end there, it will jump over and harvest the next field. There's no chest at the far end, so it'll come back to here. Then, because as it was doing this one, it would have noticed that there is a double chest there, it will then go back this way, jump over this chest, and do that farm there. In the process of doing that farm, it will note whether there's a chest here. And so it goes on. So you can farm multiple fields with one. So as before, it's TK, then farming. Then we're going to plant, harvest, or manage. And this time we're going to choose 2, which is enable automatic farm management. So press 2. Tells you what it's going to do. Configure to be a dedicated farm manager. Tells you how it will work. Do you want to enable this? Yes, so you press Y, and that's done. I'll just show you what is actually done to the files. So this is this particular computer, which is number 4. There's now 2 files, a startup.txt and a startup.lua. So I won't need to show you the code. It's very, very short. It just auto starts. If you have a file in Turtle called startup.lua, that will run automatically when the Turtle reboots or you come back into a chunk that you've left. The start.txt simply has the word farm in it, and that tells TK that we're auto starting a farm. So that's how that one works. So it's asking us to reboot to activate, which we can do. There we go. and it's doing its normal stuff. So it's checking that it's got water below, it's checking that it's got its correct tools, and it's now observing this first crop, waiting for Minecraft carrots. The status is 3 out of 7. So if we add 1 bone meal, okay, it's telling us that the local crops are ripe and it's running the tree manager. So what it's done now is it's come up to get more fuel. So it's harvesting this tree, and when it comes back down, assuming that it picks up a sapling, it will plant it here. Before it went up, it would have looked in here, and there were 2 saplings in there, so it has already picked one of them anyway. So let's wait for it to come back. With a bit of luck, it will plant the sapling. Yep, that's done. Now it's going to go onto here, and it will change its tooling to craft those logs into planks, use the planks for fuel, and it's on its way now to harvest the crops because they were ready. So it's now doing the same on this tree. It's finished planting and harvesting this one. It's almost full now. We've only got a few squares left, and so of course once that is producing more crops than it can plant, then the carrots will get placed in that chest over there. We're now in the potato field, so it's going to do the same, harvest the tree, use the chest which contains a crafting table to refuel with, and then it will go ahead and harvest the potatoes. Trees planted. We'll see if we can catch that refueling again. Yep, crafted. There we go, that's on the way. Now as it harvests the potatoes, it will hopefully harvest more potatoes than there are plants. They normally produce about 3 potatoes, I think, per plant. So we should get at least a second row, and obviously every time it does that, we will increase the amount of produce, and eventually it'll start filling up the chest. So I'll just go and catch those errant things there. Well, we've certainly got a second row in. Oh, even a part of a third. Let's just see how much we've got. Oh, another 8 potatoes. That's not bad. So probably another harvest of these 3 rows will hopefully produce enough to fill the farm. It's now moved across from the first 2 which have been completed. It's come to the beetroot farm. Again, it's felling the tree for fuel. Same process as before. We don't really need to watch that. And then it will go up and down this field, and then finally it will go over to the wheat field at the back. Not sure how much fuel there is. I'm not quite sure whether it reports it. No, it doesn't. Okay, so nothing to be stored. 3 saplings in there. Now, of course, beetroot don't produce. They do produce beetroot crop, but it's not the beetroot crop that is used to grow beetroot. It comes from seeds. So this one's slightly different to the other 3 farms in that when it returns, it will place any beetroot that it has within this chest here, currently empty. Let's see what's inside it. Yeah, we've got 4, it's not many, but that's okay. And of course all the seeds have been planted, so there's no excess seeds to be stored. But when it gets back, it will drop those 4 beetroot in there and then move over to the wheat. Okay, so it's returning to base, so we'll see whether it drops the beetroot into there. It has done. There's no seeds to drop in there. There's already a sapling, so it's heading for the last field now, which of course is the wheat. Again, felling the tree. It's good idea, these saplings that the player picks up, to just deposit them in the chest. So there's already 3 in there. These are ones that I've collected both from the tree farm and from around here, but just check the stock occasionally here. Won't be anything in here just yet. Again, once it's finished the gathering the wheat, any sheaves of wheat will be put in this chest immediately, in the same way that the beetroot was dropped in there. So it's just refueling again, depositing any seeds that it doesn't want. It's actually taken some seeds out of here, so we should now get a full crop, which is good. Okay, so it's finished planting the wheat here, so it would now drop the wheat that it's harvested in there, drop any spare seeds in there. There's plenty of full field. It's now going to return back to the starting position, and because we've set it on automatic, it's now waiting for the carrots, and they're 3 out of 7 as before. So if you were to build enough modules, I'm not sure how many it would take, but in theory, by the time it's done them all and came back here, this lot would be ready to go again, so it becomes a continuous process, self-fueling because of the trees. So that's something that maybe you want to experiment with, but happy crop farming.